If you live in the UK, you may have recently noticed apps such as Spotify, Discord X, and others suddenly requiring you to verify your identity. This is part of the incredibly dumb act of Parliament known as the Online Safety Act 2023. Let's figure this one out, starting with some background information, and why verifying your ID is an awful move for privacy. Before we go ahead, let me just explain why you should care, even if you're not from the United Kingdom. The Electronic Frontier Foundation describes the bill as a 250-page behemoth that attempts to tackle illegal and otherwise harmful content online by placing a duty of care on online platforms to protect their users from such content. But what does this actually do? Well, again, according to the EFF, this bill 1. Mandates general monitoring of all user content, 2. Undermines our right to have a private conversation and the technologies that promote that right, like end-to-end encryption, and 3, which is important for what we're talking about today, requires privacy-intrusive age verification before a user can access a variety of sites that host user-generated content, spanning sites such as Wikipedia and social media. This bill became law on October 26, 2023, but the age verification part is only coming into play recently. Similar bills are appearing in the US, such as the Kids Online Safety Act, as well as some laws already in place in several states requiring ID verification for certain sites. We'll be going over the age verification today, as that's what you may have seen recently, but do note that this bill also attacks end-to-end encryption. So why require age verification? This is all to quote-unquote protect children, but I feel like it should be on the parents to monitor and use parental controls, not the platforms. These laws do more harm than good, limiting actual adults' access to the internet and risking everyone's privacy online. Millions do not have government-based identification. ID checks are inherently invasive. But I'm old enough. What's the big problem with verifying my identity? I would explain it, and I will, but recently there's been such a perfect example of the risk of using this identification stuff to your privacy. Enter the T-App. I'm not really here to debate the functions of the app, but the central idea is that it's an app that only lets women on, where they can talk about men they are or are interested in dating. It required you to either use facial or identity verification to show that you are indeed a woman. The app claimed these images were deleted immediately after verifying. But guess what? Instead of being deleted, they were kept in a database. And this database was publicly accessible. The T-App did not even have to get hacked. All this personal information, including the selfies and IDs, they were all just available on a public URL. You cannot trust that the platform will delete your identification information when you post it. This has been shown time and time again, such as with the example I just shared. There's just no way for us users to know what will happen to the data once we give it over. Will it be shared, sold, and retained forever? We have to just trust random companies instead. And we know their track record is just great. They've never leaked something like, a password before or your email. Never, never, never. We can trust them completely. Age verification inherently removes our privacy. And for what? Why should we need to give our ID to access Spotify or Discord? I understand the concerns these governments have for younger people accessing certain content on the internet, but removing everyone's privacy is just not the way to do it. You may think that VPNs are the solution to this. In countries and states where these laws get passed, that's generally what everyone does. And sure, they do work temporarily, but we shouldn't have to rely on VPNs to get around these laws. If we just sit back and use VPNs instead of complaining, more and more countries will pass these insane laws, and there will be less and less regions that we can connect our VPN to. Plus, the government is clearly hostile to VPNs for this purpose. The UK government has already issued a warning to UK households regarding VPNs. As governments try to circumvent VPNs, we need to get to the root issue and get rid of the problematic law to begin with. I don't think we should have to give our driver license to access free websites online, removing privacy for everyone. Do you think that?